The center point of the selection of this gospel seems to be this warning of coming, doom, disaster. Behold, the hour is coming and has arrived when each of you will be scattered to his own home and you will leave me alone. And of course, this is direct correlation to the Garden of Gethsemane, where after Judas's betrayal, all of them, obviously Judas, right? He was already astray, but Peter, James, John, all of them abandoned Jesus. And in fact, Jesus had foretold this. He says, Satan's going to strike the head and scatter the sheep. And Jesus says to Peter, and when your brothers, when you have, he didn't say it this way, I can't remember exactly what his words are, but like when you come back to your senses, I need you to gather your brothers because they don't need the help. And Peter's response is, oh Lord, not me. And of course, then Jesus comes back, Peter, before the cock crows, before the sun comes up, you could deny me 3 times. Not me. And of course, there's a lot of that in all of us, right? This is why our tradition has always encouraged prayer for the grace of final perseverance, because and so the grace of final perseverance is in the moment of your death, wherever that is, however long from now that is, whether it's in a fiery plane crash or alone in your bed, in the middle of the night, whenever that moment comes, that you will not despair and that you will choose to lovingly embrace your death to go and be with Jesus. That, in a nutshell, that's what the grace of final perseverance is. Why do you ask for that? Why do you need it? We ask for it because you need it. Why do you need it? Because you do not know. At the human level, you don't know how much courage you have until it is tested, and you don't know what your limits are. Many people, not afraid of anything. Blood, guts, no. Spiders, oh my God. Yeah, I am sure there are American NBA, MLB, and NFL players, these big giant guys. I'm sure they have some funny phobias. That's got to exist, right? There's got to be one dude, 6'11", made out of pure muscle, afraid of clowns. That exists. But even more so, final perseverance seems like it's not a thing that's about human courage anymore. So you need the help. You don't know what you're going to have when you need it. So pray for it. Pray for that grace of final perseverance. I think this also correlates to the way in which the apostles are going to be scattered when Jerusalem finally falls. And then they go out all in different directions. Thomas to India. I don't know where anybody else went, but they all went out in different directions. Peter eventually to Rome. And all of them, except for John, were martyred. Paul included. And we've, since we dispersed from Jerusalem in 70 AD, we've been dispersed. Yeah, there's a lot of us in Rome. Not as many as there used to be, but there's a lot. And there's a lot of clerics, hierarchs in Rome, if not a ton of lay faithful. Pray for Italy, y'all. That being the case, we've been dispersed, and we've stayed dispersed amongst the cities of the world for the sake of the gospel. We could have a Catholic kingdom. I don't think it would do very well, but we could. But that's not what we chose to have. The Holy Spirit sent us out, and there we've stayed. And so now we settle in our little cells, our little families, and we go out into the world and every day sanctify it the way Jesus encouraged, the way Jesus commissioned his apostles to go do. So pray for the grace of final perseverance, but on top of that, the Lord has you where he has you. Use the space and the platform that you have to share the gospel. Amen.